October 16, 2024, at 6:35 p.m. We are in Early Child Center in Palisades Park. Flag salute will be led by Dr. Cirillo.
Thank you. First time ever.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Sue Chung,
Present.
Mr. Charlie Shin,
here.
Ms. Rebecca Lee,
Here.
Ms. Suk-Young Park, Mr. Aaron Pack, Mr. William Kim, Mr. Anthony Kim, Ms. Bo Young Yu, Ms. Yoon Min,
Present.
Dr. Cirillo,
Here.
Bush Law Group.
Here.
Thank you.
In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, I hereby state that the notice of this regular meeting has been provided to the public by a written notice dated January 14, 2024. The meeting notice has been emailed to all staff members at the district school locations, communicated to at least one of the board's designated newspapers, filed with the Board of Clerk of Palisades Park. Now we'll move on to the working session that will review and discuss about the agenda and resolution before we take the formal action in regular meeting. So first, about the approval of the board minutes in September. It's a special meeting, but it's because we just moved the date. It was a regular meeting. So, do you have any questions and discussion regarding the meeting minutes before we approve in regular session? If not, let's move on to the final.
Can we approve the closed session minutes here as well?
Wait, when we approve the meeting, it includes both the public meeting minutes and the closed session meeting minutes, but the closed session meeting minute would not be appeared on the website. So. Any other questions?
So if there's anything to be discussed, for the
For the-
closed session minute, we can discuss here as open, so.
Oh, that
we
was,
can
I'm
approve
sorry,
it,
that was your questions.
Right?
Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Mandel?
Yeah,
No, actually, I don't have anything to discuss, but still, it should be,
But, yeah,
Fixed,
procedure,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, Judge, I would recommend first trying to, if there's something in the closed session, meeting minutes that needs to be corrected, I would suggest first you do it directly with the BA, who takes the minutes, the board secretary, and see if it could be resolved, and then you can suggest it to the rest of the board in a revised, executive session meeting minutes. If there needs to be discussion, though, you can do that at, an executive session for that purpose.
Also, because anyone in the public request the board to provide like open public things like Oprah for the meeting minutes that we discussed in this closed session, that are we obliged to provide that, or what?
The minutes for the closed sessions
Mhm.
are made public when they can be, so depending on the reason for the privacy in the first place, some topics, the privacy need never goes away, so for instance, like if it's a student disciplinary matter, that's always gonna be kept private. But if it's a, like for instance, a sale of a property, and then once that sale is completed, then those minutes can be made accessible to the public.
So it depends on the subject of the contents. Thank you. So any other discussion in meeting minutes? If not, let's move on to finance. We have 11 consent agenda on the finance. Mr. Charlie C, could you address those 11
We have 11
agendas?
items to be discussed in finance committee.
one is food service voucher, second, secretaries and treasurers financial report. Third is the verification of board secretaries' monthly certification, and four is approval of the payroll, and five, approval of the bill list, and six, transfers, and seven, students' activity account, eight, the Lindbergh locker room conversion, nine, staff members visitation and workshop, and 10, maintenance budget worksheet, and 11, the comprehensive maintenance plan. All these items were discussed in our committee meeting, and we didn't find any problem. Okay, so
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, in number one, regarding for company and incorporation, why is the amount paid different every week in September? Does it have different, amounts we placed order?
Yes, so this is our food service provider, and because the employees may not have worked full weeks, I think the 27th, week ending the 27th is probably the most accurate reflection of what 2-week pay periods would look like for them. But I would assume that that is the biggest change.
So you mean the amount is different?
That is correct, based on the number of employees.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions in finance? If not, let's move on to the next business. That's building and ground. Ms. Nadekali.
Full year there's seven consent agendas. One is the skit night, November 22nd, and then two is movie night, October 30th. Those are both asked by the drama club. The breakfast Santa is a yearly tradition asked by the graduating senior class. Four is Garden State Kendo, asking for the high school gym on November 23rd. Five is indoor soccer by the rec. Six is the Lindbergh school parking lot for trunk or treat run by the recreation as well. Seven is Tiger Tumble event on January 18th.
Do you have any questions and discussion?
yes,
And
number five, indoor soccer, the Lindbergh school gym for indoor soccer practice. This is from like Monday to Friday for 3 months every night, okay, which is quite excessive use of the gym. And is this an annual event or just for this year?
Yes, so I would go on record and say soccer has been one of our most participated sports, both in our schools and clearly in the recreation department. This has been a regular occurrence in years past. As I mentioned in our committee meeting yesterday, it looks like recreation has also included one of our neighboring towns to participate. I don't know if that's been done in years past, but fortunately for us, if the building is available and there is no school activity, we do try to accommodate the children in the community.
Do you know how many kids are attending here?
I don't know what the recreation numbers are, no. But the stage, or the gym is not very large, so I don't anticipate many children on the stage at one time. I know they're younger. The games are at the high school on Saturdays.
Each team usually practices about 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
How many?
30 to 45
to
minutes per
45
practice, per
minutes.
team.
Do you know how many students?
Per team in the past, anywhere from 10 to 15.
Okay, I'm okay, but just I'd like to point out one thing. The Palisades Park kids are just 4 or 5, okay? So it's not enough the kids to use the whole gyms. So they are collecting some more of the players from the neighboring towns like Bridgefield, okay? So even like the more than the students in Palisades Park, more the neighboring town students are more than the Palisades Park students. So I'd like to urge them to find out more the Palisades Park students attend this kind of events.
We do have a lot of students. I will go on record and tell you, soccer is definitely a very large
Yeah, but I
participated
checked
sport.
with the recreation department and they said the Palisades Park kids are only 4 or 5.
4 or 5 total have registered.
Yes. So.
Well, maybe we
so,
should go to
yeah,
Richfield and
reluctantly
use their
they-
gyms.
Reluctantly, they thought to find other kids from the neighboring towns
So in January or just this one,
this year.
this year? And also this number 5, also, you mentioned that this is collaborate with Richfield.
That is correct.
Why those information is not reflected on this agenda?
Palisades Park Rec made the request to us, not Richfield.
Okay. So whenever they do the joint events like this, using our facility, then,
Whoever
How often was
submits,
it? Like-
whoever submits the request of use
Mhm.
is who we're listing. So this was Palisades Park Recreation in the past. Our baseball is combined with neighboring towns. That's the PPL, Palisades Park Leonia. And we also accommodate them as well.
so this PPL, then we use their facility,
PPL is baseball, Palisades
Yeah.
Park Leonia for baseball.
right?
For
But do
Little
we
League.
use their land or?
No, we use our schools.
Our
And
school.
for tryouts, for practice, until the weather's accommodating, and then we're on our Little League fields.
Okay. When they choose which school and which facility, what school to use as a gym, how they make this conclusion?
I don't know, that's a recreation question. If you'd like, we can
Okay.
ask them to alternate with other towns. I know that would be an inconvenience to our students,
Okay.
but it sounds like not many of our students are participating currently.
But we are using our gym, right? So-
Correct. Currently, that's the request.
Okay. So we have many questions with the recreation center, department of Palisades Park. So last month we discussed that we need to speak with recreation as well in order to know more about those programs.
They are looking to begin in November. If you'd like, we can approve this for 1 month, revisit it in November. I don't want to
Well, this will
turn
start,
them away.
right, this program will start just early November, so probably
So we can approve it
don't
for the
have-
first month,
right.
and then we can revisit it, is my recommendation if you'd like.
okay.
And we can find out more information on
Right.
how many students,
Okay.
and if maybe neighboring towns can also facilitate the use of their schools.
Thank you. And also number 4,
Yes,
that candle. And $250 security deposit,
yes,
that's security deposit. That is non-refundable, correct?
that's correct. That will go very likely,
Mhm.
potentially, to any custodial overtime, because Saturdays, we do not have anyone on regular shift.
We said plus custodian overtime,
Correct, if it exceeds the 250, which it will.
okay.
So we will take the security deposit as an initial payment towards that.
Okay. So
It is
basically,
just only one day on November 23rd or?
That is correct.
so doesn't mean that we are charging any fee for these events from 9 to 5 p.m. And candles intense sports, martial arts that easily damage the floor, as I told you that. Do we have any plans or any
I
discussion
believe they put
that-
mats on the ground, on the floor. I don't wanna confirm that without
Yeah.
speaking to them.
Mhm.
This event also takes place after our next board meeting. We can table it. I'd be more than happy to find out more information.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion or questions in building? and ground.
So the first question for Kenda would be, are they using any protecting mats on the floor? Is the board also looking for a rental fee on top of that?
I mean, what do you think that we used to just rent out for free?
No, not always.
Or, because I've seen that we didn't charge since the summer, that I've seen those rental facility of a school and or facility that has been just rented out for free, so.
So we have a formula. We believe that based on the amount of hours each facility is used, with recreation, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Respectfully, the building is open, custodians are working, it costs us nothing. And I'm not looking to charge the town or the borough, even though maybe you want me to.
Recreation, right. Recreation understands, but the private party outside of the.
We can definitely seek a compensation package from Kenda.
Dr. Shirley?
Yes.
Sonny that runs the indoor soccer just texted back about there's 150 kids signed up and 85% are Cal Park kids.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Thank you.
Did you have any other discussion? Okay, the next division will be, oh, by the way, Dr. Silver, do you wanna discuss the application for the use of school facility form now or later in the order
Yeah,
business?
I think personally, I'd rather solicit more information from the board members before we potentially
Okay.
put this procedure in place, but over the summer, I was asked by the board president to come up with a form, an actual application for school facilities use. I shared it, or Alex shared it on my behalf with the board members, yesterday. So if you have any questions, I don't wanna move on this just yet. I'd like for all of you to process. The form looks like this. If you did not get it, I do have one more copy with me. But I think we definitely need to update our form for use of facilities. So please email me, we will take any recommendations under consideration and hopefully move on this next month.
Yeah, yeah, this agenda came up because in summer we had to rescind, well, we didn't officially rescind, but we found out that one of the agenda we approved was, the information wasn't correct. And the information was being, we thought this deliberately, like, not shared, so that we need to maybe officially rescind someday, or maybe next month. So, yeah, we just want to make anything like a transparent, who wants to rent our facility for free when they are seeking for the profit out of it. And any board members, if you are involved with anything, please recuse when you vote. So next agenda is personnel. Mr. Charlie, could you address the 8 consent agenda?
Summary had like 8 items to discuss. One, request for leave, second, salary adjustment request, third, the ESL after school program, 4, NJSLA Academy after the school program, 5, preschool parent workshop, 6, mentorship program, 7, option 2 after school program, 8, appointment of staff. For the 8 items to be discussed.
Dr. Shirley?
Yes.
Could you explain, like, it's not about the, the personnel in particular, but could you explain the ESL after-school program itself?
Sure, that specifically, I believe, is number 3, and that is specifically for Lindbergh Elementary School. As you're gonna see in a few minutes with our test scores, we obviously need to do more with many of our children, but specifically children that come to us from foreign countries are at more of a disadvantage. So there's more time needed to try to play catch up respectfully. I'm grateful that we have some teachers that are willing to stay beyond the school day. I'm even happier that they're getting certified instructors with them to try to address those gaps that may exist.
Okay, can I ask one, number 5? It says a preschool parent workshop. Can you just explain more detail?
Of course.
What kind of workshop
Yeah,
we
so-
are giving?
Part of our preschool program with the state, the agreement is that we have parent programs. These are various workshops that will talk about social emotional well-being for our children, different creative, programs that we have in our curriculum. So these are programs instructed by our teachers and or child study team members and supervisors that will be here with our students, both present and potentially future.
Do we have kind of special procedures using, for preschool parent workshop, or just, presenting to help them?
So we placate to our audience. We want to make sure that with procedures, I'm not sure if you mean translators or I'm not sure.
Something,
Yeah, of course, we will have translators available if needed for the community, but we really are here to answer many questions, but talk about what goes on a day-to-day.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, next agenda is curriculum. Ms. Boyoung,
Okay, so a lot of difference. Adams Farm, Palisades Park Pool, Palisades Park Pool, Rutgers University, ShopRite, it's Palisades Park, Limburg School again, Health Farm, Seacoast Farms, Health Farm, Adams Farm, Tranquility Farm, Liberty Science Center, Bergen County Community College, and
so the typo has not been corrected, it's just, the NEC like Palisades Park Pool, it's 2025.
So to have that, Palisades Park Pool, what if it rains on this day? Do we have a rainy day?
Yes, great question. So there's always a rain date. We would obviously need to approve the rain date as well. So I don't have those currently, but I'm sure we will have those readily available.
Excuse me, can you do me a favor, okay? When you say over there, okay, it's very hard to hear. We have even more people than the council meeting, but we don't have mic. So when you say something over there, can you say a little louder? I can hear that. Yeah?
If there is a rain date, it's not on the agenda tonight, we will have it for you.
what is the work-based learning?
So we have special needs students who we are trying to prepare or better prepare for beyond high school and their careers. So these are opportunities. I'm very grateful that we have the teacher in the audience that goes above and beyond the normal scope of a school day. And it might be a trip to the Borough Hall like we've done. It might be a trip to ShopRite as being requested here. Many of these children are also being taught life skills, which is going to be critically important for them when they graduate from our schools.
They're in the Limburg?
Charlie, you heard?
I can hear you well, but I mean the.
I got a sore throat.
The other side, the ladies.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna get microphones and yell.
That's like shouting.
So Ms. Bo, you try to talk something?
Oh, I forgot, I don't know.
She said if they were Lindbergh students.
No, they're high school students. So upon graduation, this is a high school program. We try to, and we're gonna continue it. We do like to bring our high school students to Lindbergh Elementary School as well, to work with children of similar disability types. So at the very least, everyone And really, this is an opportunity that children learn from each other, and we could keep some of our most severe special needs children in district and help them be more productive in our community especially.
Any board member have more questions, discussion on the curriculum? Not, next business will be negotiations. Mr. William Hill, do you have any reports today?
We've had another meeting, nothing else to report.
Thank you. Policy, Mr. Min?
No report at this time.
New Jersey School Board Liaison Alternate, Mr. Soo-kyung Park is not here today. So let's move on to County School Board Rep Alternative, Mr. Aaron Bob. Do you have a report today? Yes, School Safety and Security Committee, Mr. Anthony Kim is not present. So all the business. Do we have all the business today, Dr. Sirulo?
We do not.
Okay. So now, we'll discuss about new business. This is HIB, self-assessment submission. Be it resolved that the Palisades Park Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the submission of the district's HIB self-assessment to the New Jersey Department of Education. Do you have any questions or discussion?
Over here,
Yeah, Mr. Pat?
so, who will take this, district HIV self-assessment?
Very good question. So for the record, every year by October 31st, we as a district, each of our schools has to do a self-assessment. The school has a anti-bullying specialist. We have an anti-bullying coordinator in our district. The good news is that we are just submitting it. This is a submission, that's all I'm seeking tonight. The state then will review our findings and they will give us a grade. Last year, Palisades Park Junior Senior High School's final grade was a 68 out of a possible 78. There are different categories that you are graded on. This year, our self-assessment, we are at 70, so we are showing improvement. Lindbergh Elementary School last year was a 74 out of 78. This year, we too are at a 74. The Early Childhood Center last year was 73. We again are at 73. So my ask of the board is to approve the submission of our self-assessment. So we have gotten better or stayed at where we were last year. The categories are on different programs we offer to our students, the amount of school level bullying cases we have. So based on the metrics, we have to submit a report.
Okay,
But it's not a final report, it's just our self-assessment.
Okay. And, how exactly would we be able to, get those assessment scores to?
Yep, so every year, it's a good question again, every year after the state certifies it, it is on our website. So here's what last year's looks like. So every year, if you look on you can just do a search on the website, on the search box, HIB grades. You will see the last, I believe, probably about 10 years are listed. After the state has their final grades, they submit it to us, and we have to submit it on our website again. So the last one you'll see up there is 21-22. What I'm asking for is a self-assessment now of 22-23. So we're always 1 year behind.
Any other questions? May I have a motion to close the working session and go, move on to the regular session?
I'd like to make a motion to close work section and open the, regular session.
All in favor? Okay, my report. So next 2 weeks, starting on October 21st, there will be New Jersey School Board convention in Atlantic City. So many board members and our administrator will be away for a week.
Don't
And
tell them,
you told them?
don't tell them.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I should have talked to you first.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know. So board members, there's some new board members who never been attended, but this is the great opportunity to educate yourself, and this is the most effective way of learning about the board business in my experience. So if you could make a time, please do join this convention as much as possible. And next. So Dr. Sitter, do you have a superintendent's report?
Part of my report is that every year in the month of October, and I apologize, it might be overwhelming, but I thank Mr. Fallon, who is here with me tonight. Unfortunately, Mr. Garcia could not make it. So Mr. Fallon and I are going to do our district test presentation. We are, for the record, we are going to share what is required, but there are many additional slides. All of the slides will be on the website after this presentation. Additionally, it will be shared with all board members. There are many requirements that we must share. We'll talk about some of the data. We will obviously only be able to answer questions of the board at this time because we're still in our regular meeting. But with respect to our grades and our standardized test scores, we'll start with this presentation. Should be no more than 5 minutes, I hope. If you can just bear with us. I hope, Patrick, that means start speaking now and fast.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So what are your plans to,
I want to retire. No.
not your,
Yes, sir.
no, but what are your plans to make have the students be more proficient? What kind of programs do you have in mind, and what are you gonna be implementing to?
So it's not me, I think it's our team. I think we all collectively, the board included, needs to continue to support programs that we have. These interventions work. We see success. We see that our graduation rate is proof in itself. But I think the most critical piece here, Aaron, I'm not running for any political office, is to get these kids in our building, to stress the importance of an education. I've said this 100 times over. Kids in this community, unfortunately, are not necessarily only here for school, especially the older kids. Some of them are paying or help paying for the lights to be put on in their house, for the heat to be put on, and it's getting chilly out. So school wasn't necessarily or isn't necessarily the priority. So we have to make sure we stress the importance of coming to school every day. Without them being here, we're not going to accomplish much. Clearly, they need to be physically invested. Different community programs, internships, they work. But there has to be a nexus to what is at the end of the tunnel for them.
So the graduation rates, so the State Department of Education, you appealed already, right?
We appealed, any students that we did not get credit for, Mr. Shin, we can appeal. So if a student transfers to us from a different school and doesn't graduate on time, we can appeal that maybe that's not our problem and it's another school's concern. If a student comes to us and doesn't graduate in 4 years because they come from another country, there's no appeal. Unfortunately, he or she did not graduate and that counts against us. More importantly, if a student is of special education and he or she wants to continue their studies beyond 18 years of age, it counts against us. So although that's a very important metric and everyone's looking at graduation rate, we want 100%. If a student chooses to go to 21 years old and they have an IEP, which they're legally allowed to do, technically they didn't graduate, it counts against us.
My question is, okay, that kind of situation would not be limited to just our town only, okay? That will be all the statewide, yeah? But if you go, like the statistics of the Department of Education, the Palisades Park graduation rate shows like the 78% to 80%, which is quite different from our internal statistics. So that is the problem. Everybody, this internal statistics, we can see it, but the other people's compare the schools based on the state,
judge the data.
the statistics. That's the problem. So
This data is from the state. This data is from the state. There's something on Pearson, it's a website, I don't create it, I don't manually manipulate numbers. This data is coming from the system. I wouldn't make a percentage of 94.6 and say publicly that's our graduation rate, if that wasn't true.
So you say so, right? But
Oh, you want me to testify? I'll do that too. That's what we graduate.
Okay, so if there is any wrong data, we have to correct it. You
That is
know?
correct.
That's our mission. Huh?
Absolutely.
So let's work together, okay, to do so.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? Overall, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Berlin. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, Dr. Cirillo, and all your teachers. And we're also happy to see any increases, any number raised in achievement of students, and thank you for your great work. All right, so that's Mr. Aaron Mander. Do you have any attorney report today?
Nothing to report.
So next agenda is to approve our board meeting minutes in September. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes September 25th, 2024?
I'd like to make a motion to approve special business meeting on September 25th, 2024.
Second, any second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No abstention? No objection? Okay, let's move to the finance. We have 11 consent agenda for approval. May I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the 11 agenda.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sue Chung,
Yes?
Rebecca Lee,
Yes.
Yoon Min,
Yes.
Aaron Pak,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yes.
William Kim,
Yes.
Ho Young Yu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next business is building and ground. We have 7 consent agenda. As we discussed in working session, that number 4, Garden State candle, that we still have a month to approve. So we will table this number 4. And number 5, we'll discuss with the recreation department, but should not be a big problem, but the board need to be informed more about it because it's ongoing question about this rental and teamwork using our facility. So with those condition of number 4 to be tabled and number 5 to discuss with the recreation departments. May I have a motion to approve the item number, what?
Sorry. Are you going, for number 5, are you going to approve it as originally requested?
I think so.
Okay.
Because it started in November 4th and, yes, so 85% of Palisades parties are participating. So, but we still need to learn, and speak with recreation department how they run this kind of program with the other neighboring town and how they determine which ground, which facility to use for their program. So may I have a motion to approve this building and ground with the condition of number 4 to be tabled? I make a motion to approve 7 building and ground agenda except number 4. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? No objection? Motion passed. Next, personnel. There's a number, there's 8 consent agenda under personnel resolution. May I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Charlie, Aaron.
Roll call, please.
Sue Chung,
Yes.
Rebecca Lee, Yoon Min,
Yes.
Aaron Pack,
Yes.
Charlie Shin,
Yeah.
William Kim,
Yes.
Ko Young Yu.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, the curriculum, we have, how many? Oh, we have only one agenda, but many of those, field trip things. We have a motion to approve the field trip agenda.
I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
No abstention? No objection? So we didn't have a rest of committee report, so we will move on to the order business. And we didn't discuss any order business in working session, but, I know some people here need to leave early today, so I don't wanna grab the meeting. But, can we discuss the student rep next time, next month,
Absolutely,
okay? Cause
Thank you.
we're supposed to discuss today.
yes.
So new business. May I have a motion to approve the HIB self-assessment submission to New Jersey Department of Education?
I make a motion.
Any second?
Second is,
All in favor? Any objection? Nope. May I have a motion to close our regular session and then open to the public participation?
I make a motion to close the regular session and open the audience participation.
I second. All in favor? So now we open to public, our meeting is open to public. Any speaker have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address, please. Ms. Turney?
Hi, my name is Corinne Sterney. I'm the negotiations chair for our union. Thank you. The PPA negotiations team, along with the Board of Ed team, were in a mediation session last week with the state mediator on September 8th from 6 to 9 p.m. After proposals were exchanged, the board counter proposal was less than what they offered to us in May of last year, and reaffirmed the board's position to rewrite our existing contract. With that proposal, the board made it clear that they were not serious about settling our contract. In spite of this, we were still hopeful, and made a counter proposal in good faith. The board then responded with a counter proposal that, again, was less than their previous one. This proposal was not only significantly less than the county average and surrounding school district settlements, according to the New Jersey School Boards Association. It's the first article on today's site. It's titled Trends in Teaching Contract Negotiations for 2024. And I'm going to quote here. For new teacher contracts that began with the 24-25 cycle that had reached a settlement and reported it to the NJSBA, the average increase, inclusive increment, is 3.67 for the 2024-25 school year. The board's proposal that was given to us was 3.1%. And they also required our members to pay 50% of their vision coverage and 75% of your dental coverage. No other districts are doing this. It was clear to the PPA team that any offer the board made had unreasonable and detrimental strings attached. To us, that demonstrated a lack of commitment to settling and failure to recognize the reality of the current settlements or show any respect for the teachers and staff they express to appreciate. Since February of this year, the board has already paid over $43,000 to the Bush Law Group. It is a shame that the Board of Education is spending money to attorneys instead of on its faculty and staff for the good of its students. After 3 hours, the PPA team ended an unproductive session. Any more time spent there would have been a waste for all involved, time away from our families and responsibilities, and more money spent to the attorney fees. We are now exercising our next step, based on state law to move to fact finding.
I'm to answer first, and then, sorry. So, I'll just state a little bit about the negotiation that, right, obviously I'm not in agreement, agree with your, all the statements, but I have been very frustrated since this new year that right after I became a board president, get involved with the negotiations, but your association came up with 5%, which is like anticipating that 25% in 5 year, that we ended up this school district bankruptcy, and that you are stick to your salary increase, which I understand, but as a board members, we have to deal with other direction as well to the board parents, community members, school administrator, all the education people, students, and tax money as well. So we try to be our best, practicing this negotiation matter in good faith, in the way to benefit both parties. So we don't regret that what we have been doing, and I've been seeing all my board members, especially the negotiation team, chair, and our attorneys been very working hard, and we don't get paid, and still we have willingness to work, make things work. But I just feel very frustrated for what has been done for this 10 months. And from very beginning, if I recall, my email never been responded from your association. And rest of other board member, I don't know, but for myself, I don't. We have those electronic reports as well too. And if our negotiation chair or our attorney, if you guys have any comments that you couldn't make it. And also for attorney fee, it's not about just negotiation. Since this new year start, we noticed that there's a lot of legal issue that accrued from last year that wasn't taken care of. It was really, really not good. So we have those legal issues or carried on from last year that was not well taken care of and wrongfully, falsely addressed. So that really burdened our legal fee. It's not just about negotiation. Do you have any comments, Mr. William Kim or Mr. Nando?
I would just say that, I intend to continue to negotiate in good faith to try to reach an agreement. I think the PPA negotiating team has come in month after month to these meetings expressing their side only. We had ground rules from day one that they proposed we sign and agree to, that they repeatedly are breaking. Okay, and those are there for a reason. Now, last meeting, the negotiating chair on the PPA side said that those ground rules no longer apply. She just decided to make that decision on her own. Who knows why? Okay. Initially, they claimed that we broke the ground rules first, but there's nothing in this ground rules that was broken. I have it in front of me. There's nothing in here that says we can't postpone meetings, which we've done. So the fact is, I became negotiating chair in January. I received a copy of the contract at the end of January, and then was asked to provide proposals in a week. 50-page contract, outdated, never revised. Not possible, okay? Hundreds of hours was put into this contract to try to get it to a good place. And so if you wanna ask who's negotiating in good faith, you should ask your own members, okay? Who came in first, closer to the county average, right? Where did the PPA start? Where did we start? What was the county average? And that county average is disputed. So remember that. When you look at the county average that they're describing, you need to look at the totality of the information. It's not just the county average that matters, it's the salary guide that matters. The new contracts that they're talking about, there's a change in there, an increase in there for a school district with a starting salary of $53,000. Not exactly comparable, is it? So so far, we've listened to one side month after month. I don't really wanna go back and forth on this issue and talk about details when we've agreed to keep things confidential. So I would just ask that, don't make assumptions, the public and the teachers, and get all the information before you make assumptions and decisions. We're trying to come to an agreement, we're trying to come to a good place, but if we agree to a percentage that the school district cannot afford, there's only one way past that, and that's cost cuts. Is that good for the school district? Is that good for the kids? Is that good for the teachers, the parents? No. So unless somebody here can find us more money, which I'm happy to help look for, I'm not sure what else we're able to do. We're doing our best.
Hello, my name is Olga Tata. I'm a teacher at Lindbergh School. I've been a teacher at Lindbergh School for over 20 years, and I've also been a member of this Palisades Park district town for more than 40 years. I, like many of the students that we teach, am a child of immigrant parents who had limited English knowledge, and fortunately with their support and the support of the teachers of Palisades Park, I was able to achieve a wonderful career in education. I'm glad I'm here. I love working for this district. I love working for these children and doing the best that I can to progress them in all their future endeavors. I thought that this session is the audience speaks and then the board addresses each person that spoke. I did not know that this might be a back and forth. So let me, before I make my statement, address some of the things that you brought to light. We opened that those attorney fees were salaries from February through August, not last year. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm going to continue with what I came to say. Corinne mentioned that the board demonstrated a failure to recognize the reality of current settlements. I wanted to talk about that. Let's look at the state of things. Educators, including teachers, secretaries, nurses, child study team members, and other educational support professionals are already hard to find, and they're even harder to keep in districts with lower salaries. We just had a teacher from Lindbergh School resign. In our own district, we have had significant difficulty filling positions, and we've lost excellent staff members to districts that have better pay and benefits, like the teacher I just mentioned. Associations and boards are settling contracts quickly and reasonably, with salaries being increased due to a mutual understanding of the need to attract and retain staff. Moreover, these contract settlements are done without taking from the staff in order to fund their own raises. In other words, in other districts, boards' offers are non-contingent on staff paying more for their current benefits. In short, we are living in a climate where teachers and educational support staff are hard to find. Settlement rates are rising in surrounding districts. Settlements are 3.67% for the 2024-2025 year, according to the website that Corinne mentioned, the New Jersey School Boards Association. And associations are settling contracts without having to give anything up or pay more for their existing benefits. Unfortunately, our board is out of touch with this reality.
Christina Gingerelli. I'm a teacher here at the ECC. I'm a member of the negotiations team, and I've been teaching in this district since 2016. I would like to give the board insight into the teachers of Palisades Park. We are all dedicated professionals, and regardless of the state of our negotiations, we teachers show up daily and give the students of Palisades Park the absolute best versions of ourselves. I can personally speak to the loyalty of the teaching staff here at the ECC. Last week, during the Week of Respect, teachers hosted various activities that took place to teach your children kindness, respect, and friendship. The week culminated in a door decorating contest in which all teachers eagerly participated. This was just one of the many examples of things that our teachers do that go above and beyond on a daily basis. My hope is that while the Pal Park Board of Education negotiations team sits down to work on a reasonable proposal, that they take a moment to think of the teachers that work here, tirelessly, day in and day out. Those teachers who are working multiple jobs to support their families. Those teachers who drive long distances and fight through traffic because they love the children and families here in Palisades Park. The teachers who, no matter what personal hardships they may be going through, welcome your children with a smile on their faces each morning. Thank you.
Ms. Rivera?
Amy Rivera, Glen Avenue. I just want to take a moment to thank all of the teachers here. I only have two little ones, so I only have experience in ECC and in Lindbergh. But as a parent, I can see how much you guys are still giving, and I can see how difficult it is to come to these meetings. And Mr. Kim, you said that it's hard not to make assumptions, but the BOE, the parents aren't hearing the BOE side. So it's difficult to not make assumptions, especially when we as parents, we're seeing what's happening. I can see that these teachers back here still give up their free time and offer extra help. They don't need to do that. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna go above and beyond when I'm not being compensated or appreciated. I just wanted to, again, just thank all of you guys from the bottom, of my heart. The parents do appreciate you guys. And I hope that you guys can get what you deserve.
Medical Professor for Glen Avenue. Like I always say, I've been coming to this meeting religious, like every month. I'm here because I care. I care about the kid, and I care about the teacher, and I care about the town. And I really want an answer as a parent, because I feel that I need an answer. I need to know more about the contract. I need to know more about what are we doing. Because a parent who have a student in school and pay tax in here, I need to know, because I'm really getting stressed out as a parent. What are we going through? And I know it's a lot of things that they said they cannot say because it's confidential. But what is confidential? What I see here is that your side from the board BOE and the side from the teacher. The side from the teacher, I don't know all the detail, unfortunately. The side from the BOE, like Ms. Rivera said, I don't know, because nobody knows. We just hear one side. But in the meantime, we come in here and spending time and see all this discomfort, all this answer that they have. And I have as a parent, and I don't see anything. And I see a lot of, from Mr. William, how he said, you guys do this, you guys, this is not true, this is not. It seemed to me like it's not work here in Rich right now. I know it should be more parent here, because if we be more parent here, we'll have the same feeling I have. Because this is kind of worrying me. What is gonna be next? I wanna know an answer. What is gonna be next? When this gonna get resolved? Because I think by doing this, we're taking our time from our teacher, the worry from them,
and even to disconform, because I'm in that field, and I know how it feels. And they made people feel like, you know what? Let me just give out, not doing what I have to do. And who's gonna get affected? Our children. So this needs to get resolved. This is emergency right now. I really feel that this needs to get resolved. And I'm gonna, next time, I'm gonna make sure that a lot of parents come here and get in the same boat and support this, because the teacher needs the support. I know you're doing this for free, I know you're giving your time of you, but come on, let's make this happen now. Because me as a parent, I feel very anxious. Tonight I cannot make it to the meeting, and I said, I need to go. I need to know what's going on, because unfortunately, we don't get informed about this. And I really feel that the teacher need to get this resolved. It's not fair for them, it's not fair for our kids, it's not fair for the parent. So let's do what we need to do. I don't know all the detail, unfortunately, because I get detail from little here, little there, but I don't know the detail. If I know the detail, I'll be talking open in here, but I don't know the detail. What is
Ms.
need to be
Pepper,
done?
I'm sorry, it's 30 minutes left.
I know,
Yeah.
let's do this, please. It's enough.
So especially about the data that you are requesting, that we have no problem to open it up. It was trying to follow up the ground order that was provided and requested by the association to keep it confidential. But as long as our tone is okay, I'm quite fine. I'm actually more happy to share all the procedure, all the documents. You will have a big volume of documents to see. That's not that we just try to keep it confidential. The gentleman there.
Good evening. Annyeonghaseyo. Hello. My name is Jared Zuckerman. I teach at the high school. Previously, I taught at Limburg Elementary School, 10 years in the district. But Palisades Park has always held a very personal place in my heart. My grandmother was a former Board of Education president. My grandfather was a former mayor of the town. My grandmother would be appalled by the way the negotiations is handling our contract. Furthermore, Dr. Serlo, many, many years, every year in the beginning of the year, you tell us you would be proud to send your own kids to the school district to be taught by these teachers, my colleagues. And I would do the same with my two sons. I would put their academic careers in the hands of these people in a heartbeat. What I won't do is subject them to a board that doesn't support teachers. And, you know, I hope your moral compass can guide you to get this done. Instead of setting the example for Bergen County, you're making us the laughing stock of what should be a really good school district, of what we could be. And it's hard to have personal conversations with family and friends and colleagues, and everything devolves into, well, our board is terrible. Why would you want to come work here? What is attractive about this place? Please, find your moral compass, get this contract done, and do right by us. Those stats don't happen without us. As a member of the Tiger team, I see what my colleagues in the high school do day in and day out, and we're improving, but we are undervalued. Please, find it within yourselves to come to a fair and just contract, whatever that may be. Thank you.
Hello, Amanda Bellotti. I'm a teacher at the high school and the PPA president. I wanted to talk about a few things that have been said this evening. So, Ms. Chung, you thanked us after the presentation for all that we do, but actions speak louder than words, and we need actions. The words aren't enough anymore. Christina spoke about the dedication and loyalty of our staff here. In Palisades Park, we have professionals who want to be here, who are invested in the growth and education of the children, and who have worked here for, by show of hands, 20 plus years? 15 plus years? 10 plus years? 5 plus years? Okay. Their commitment to this district should be valued and respected, and you should be doing everything in your power to keep them here.
Okay, do you have a participation. Okay.
Hello everybody, my name is Mike Halleck. I live in Edsel Avenue. I have 4 kids. One of them graduated from the school system. She's in college right now. She graduated with high honors. I have 3 kids that go to this school system. One is in high school. He's in one of those AP classes you were talking about. And 2 of them, one is in Lindbergh and one in ECC. So they go to all the schools. I came in tonight to speak about the roaches infestation that you had in the schools, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Now, everybody, it's more important subject that just came up right now. So everybody knows a happy employee is a productive employee, right? That's like basic. So you, Mr. Kim, you were saying that if somebody could help you find money, you're up to it. Maybe an independent committee could find that money. Somebody will finance or analytics, right? Because they deserve. They sculpt all the kids, right? They leave lasting impression on the kids. I know from my oldest to my youngest, they have their favorite teachers, and that actually leaves them. For me, from my experience too, I have teachers I remember since I was little, and they helped me succeed, right? They deserve by you putting a dollar amount on them, you devaluing what they think they're worth, right? Because you think that's how much they're worth, and they think it's something else because they do the work, right? They're sitting there with all the roaches in the building. And I say it's a roach infestation. Senior, when we went to visit the high school, back to school, we were walking up the stairs, there were roaches breeding all the parents walking around. Roaches hide when there's people around. So that's an infestation. Yet they have to deal with it every day. Kids screaming, kids giving them attitudes. That's all got to be considered the hard work that they're doing, right? They deserve it.
Okay, I don't see any more raise. Then we have a motion to close public session, public participation session, and
I'd like to
adjourn
make
the.
a motion to
I
close.
didn't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'd like to
Anyway.
make a motion to close audience participation.
Our representative, may I have a motion to close audience participation and adjourn the regular session, our meeting?
Didn't she just do that?
So Ms. Min made the motion, so what's the second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yep. No abstention. Thank you. Have a good night.